Welcome to Rick Rack Ruby. I'm Laura Cluvo. Today we will be making this vintage lace Santa Claus Christmas ornament. It's fun and easy, so let's get started. To make this vintage Santa, I started with a package of Woodpile Fun teardrops, ovals, and circles. I pulled out the 2-inch circles and I've already prepared these with my Santa face. To find the instructions for the Santa face, I have 2 different videos that already describe this, so I will make links to them above. I've also prepared this 1/4-inch little wood button by just applying some blush to it. And the first thing I'll do is just glue that right. Just about like that. That's really cute. Now for the hat, I have cut out this hat pattern from wool batting. Wool batting has some qualities that I really like for this project. The thing that's nice about this is it has a tiny bit of stretch, and also it's thick and it holds its shape. So once I make this hat, it's going to stay up. Also, when I sew the lace across, it makes a slight indentation, which gives a certain amount of texture and sort of variety to the hat, and so that's why I like to use wool batting, but you can use something else if you like. I'll describe the pattern at the end. So now I've pulled a few pieces of vintage lace from my enormous stash, and I'm only going to use 2 pieces. I really want this to be a quick and easy project, but of course, it would not be hard to cover this with rows and rows and rows and rows and lots of lace. But I'm just going to do 2. First is an overall lace like this. I want to leave about 1 inch at the bottom. So just leave 1 inch of the wool batting exposed at the bottom. And then I'm going to zigzag this all the way around the edge and along the bottom. And then I'll add a little border of a different sort of lace down here at the bottom. And I still want to have about 3/4 of an inch of the wool batting exposed. I have my trusty glue gun and my sewing machine over here. I'm just going to go ahead and get started. I've sewn this all over lace around the edge of the hat and then across right here. So now I'm going to stitch this little border, I think like this. Yes, that'll be good. I've added this little border. I just zigzagged all the way around. And now I'm going to fold this in half and stitch up this round seam here, this arch, with about 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. I'm going to trim the seam allowance at the very top, just so I have a good chance of being able to turn that to a point. And then I will gently, carefully turn it right side out. I'm going to use a blunt needle to pull this out. I'm going to set this aside and we're going to work on the beard. For the beard, I'm going to use, I've stacked 2 4x6 index cards, on one on top of the other, and I've marked 1 inch in on each side like this. And I'm going to wrap this back and forth. Whatever yarn you have, just fill in the space. Mine's pretty thin, takes a lot of wraps, but you can use a thicker yarn and it'll be fewer wraps. This is a loopy mohair. I get a lot of questions about what is that yarn. That looks good. Keep in mind that I've wrapped 2 times, and then, you know, there's front and back. So even though it looks a little bit sparse, it's going to be very full when I put it on this project. So I'm going to machine stitch back and forth across the center of this card. And if it's not exactly in the center, it's okay. Here's how it looks. So I'll tear out the card, which is not hard because it's perforated due to the sewing. So I have removed the card, and I will kind of determine the center and glue the center along the stitch line below the nose and around to the back like that. Not too close to the nose because we need room for the mustache and we want to see the cheeks. And then around the back, and you can see there's plenty of beard. Might even be too much. Nah, there's never too much. Then I'm gonna fold these loops over and apply some glue right in here, and then fold this over so that the top layer will stick down. You might notice that I have a little bit of hot glue showing. I can pull that out very easily, but I don't really need to because there'll be a mustache right there that we're gonna do next. I like when the beard kind of sticks out on the sides, so I'm not gonna really push this down and make it like this. I kind of like it to fluff out. So I'm going to glue the back. Like this. And then the front is already glued, and then the sides kind of still fluff out. Now for the mustache, leave a tail and wrap 1 and 2 and 3. Depending on your yarn, 3 could be enough. I'll do 4. And then I'm gonna use this top piece right here to wrap around, all the way around, then this first piece to tie into a little knot in the center. Nice and tight. That's a square knot. Then I'll trim these and gently pull it off my fingers. And this is what the mustache looks like. It's a little figure 8. I'll apply some glue to the back where that knot is, and then I'll just press it right on below the nose. And the beard and the mustache are done. The way that the hat works is the back of the hat is going to go all the way down. The front of the hat, so from the front to the sides, we're going to fold under and glue. This is another reason why it's nice to have a nice thick fabric that you're using, because I'm just going to use hot glue and I'm shaping it into an arch. Make it higher than you think. Just go all the way up that 3/4 of an inch because you want to be able to see the face. So I applied some hot glue inside, and now I'm forming that arch for the face. Let me try it on. All the way down in the back. It's nice and tight. Down on the sides, but not covering the face. something like that. So first I'll apply some glue to the inside back, and then I'll pull it all the way on. And this is why it's nice that the wool batting has a little bit of stretch. Not too much since we've sewn it, but it still has a little bit of stretch. So the back is secure. See how it's glued? And, oh, I want to show you something. This one, I actually filled it with a little bit of stuffing, but then I didn't think I liked it because it's too much of a bulge right here. So I decided not to do that anymore. I have found that the wool batting will stand up on its own. Now I'm going to apply some glue to the wood at the forehead, and I'm going to pull it down and press it in, but I still want to see the face, so I want it above those eyebrows. Ideally, get it right above the eyebrows. So there's the hat, and then I'm pulling it down on the sides, but above the eyebrows. I think that looks good. Yay, we are on our way. Now for some embellishments, we have a lot of options. I like to put on at least 2 items. A button, there's a mother of pearl button, and I thought I could even add a little color if I wanted. Add a purple button. I'm into purple Christmas now that I have a granddaughter named Violet. Or a little lace applique. And then at the top, at the point of the hat, I can add a bell or this little kooky thing, which is what I think I'm going to use. It's kind of like a little covered bauble of some sort. And so I did use a pearl from this broken necklace. On this one, the same one I just showed you, I used a pearl and I did a pearl button. So I think for this one, I'll do something different and I'll use the lace applique and maybe one of these or one of these. But I think I'm gonna go for this one. It's a nice contrast in color. So I'm just gonna glue it on. Of course, when I add buttons, I sew them, but I'm trying to make this a quick and easy project because we're getting so close to Christmas. So there's my little lace applique. I will sew this little bauble to the tip of the hat. This is from Tinsel Trading. It has a little loop which causes this to kind of dangle a little bit, which is just adorable. I'll secure my thread and then we'll add a little ribbon loop for hanging, just sewing right through the tip here, just below the bauble. There we go. Our vintage Santa is done. Here's the pattern. I just drew it on graph paper, and this is for the 2-inch face. So it's 4.5 inches across, 5 inches tall. I cut out a rectangle with those dimensions and folded in half. Then I just cut a nice gentle arch to a point. Open it up, and there you go. Nothing to it. Thank you for watching my tutorial. If you're enjoying my videos, please like, share, and subscribe.